After a long vacation, a concert you've been looking forward to all year, or an exciting birthday party with friends, it can be depressing to think about the boring chores you have to do when you get back home, work the next day, or any of the other responsibilities most of us face on a daily basis. This disappointment can make you wonder, that vacation, or concert, or birthday party was so much fun. Why can't life always be like that? As a child with a growing brain and an innocent outlook on life, this disappointment can feel even more pronounced, as fun is often the primary thing young people seek out. Indeed, after childhood, the realities of the world start to set in. New forces of fun become enticing, and becoming an adult, one must confront their purpose on this earth. Suddenly, hard-earned job promotions, raising children, and a week just relaxing and doing nothing at all become the moments you cherish most. A vague sense of meaning becomes your primary goal in life, with fun viewed as just a momentary distraction. But what is it that causes this outlook change? Is there perhaps a difference between mindless fun and true happiness that can only be achieved by accomplishing your sense of purpose? Or is seeking meaning just a useless construct, and maximizing fun should be your primary goal in life? To answer these questions, let's first look to the past to see how the human relationship towards fun has evolved throughout history. Indeed, before the modern conveniences and the overall higher quality of life many of us enjoy today, the concept of fun and entertainment was a little harder to obtain, but still nonetheless existed, especially for the wealthy and prosperous. In ancient Greece, Aristotle believed in eudaimonia, or in English translated to flourishing or happiness, was achieved through the cultivation of virtues, not through mere pleasure. A good time for the ancient Greeks was often found in intellectual pursuits, like symposia, philosophy, and the arts. With that being said, some ancient Greek philosophers saw things differently. Aristippus, for example, believed in hedonism, the ethical theory that pleasure is the highest good and the proper aim of human life. The Romans would famously take on hedonist philosophy in their lifestyle perhaps more than the Greeks did, and were more likely to incorporate enjoyment and leisure into their daily lives, with less emphasis on intellectual virtue and more focus on personal satisfaction, physical pleasure, luxury, and social status. Examples include the gladiator games, chariot races, and banquets. When Constantine adopted Christianity in Rome in 1312, views on fun would start to change. Christian teachings often warned against the dangers of indulging in physical pleasure, particularly when it distracted from the pursuit of holiness. The focus shifted to virtues such as humility, chastity, and patience rather than sensory enjoyment. This isn't to say, however, the movement was totally against fun. They were just redefining it. Christian thinkers like St. Augustine emphasized the idea of beatitude, spiritual happiness or joy that transcends earthly pleasures. Fun in this sense was less about entertainment or sensory enjoyment, and more about finding peace and joy through a relationship with God. Christians were encouraged to find joy in selfless acts of charity and communal worship. Indeed, doing good can often be an enjoyable and enriching activity, as it is possible that fun could have a more wholesome tinge as well. Fast forward to the Middle Ages, and this Christian worldview would develop and spread across the world via the Catholic Church, with an emphasis on piety, hard work, and the afterlife rather than immediate enjoyment in the present. Indeed, the belief in an afterlife can alter your view on fun. If our existence is just a test to enter a greater world or dimension, then ignoring the temptations of fun around us might make more sense with that payoff in mind. Meanwhile, in the eastern part of the world, Buddhist teachings would emphasize the importance of overcoming attachment to worldly desires and pleasures in order to achieve enlightenment or nirvana. While Buddhism does not necessarily advocate for self-denial, it stresses the need for moderation and detachment from sensual pleasures. Fun and enjoyment are viewed as impermanent and transient, and an attachment to them can lead to suffering. The concept of the middle way is about finding a balance between indulgence and self-denial, and avoiding extremes. Perhaps yes, the truth is life is equally about having fun, as it is about finding meaning and spiritual connection. In Confucianism, life's purpose and meaning is deeply tied to fulfilling one's role in society, family, and community. Fun, therefore, is seen as secondary to the cultivation of virtue, education, and proper relationships. The idea of filial piety, respecting one's parents and ancestors, and contributing to social harmony, is seen as the highest form of meaning, and any fun should align with these values. Indeed, family cohesion is often a prerequisite for happiness, highlighting the importance of taking care of those closest to you. In fact, often what gives life meaning is having a sense of duty in fulfilling that purpose. For example, having children is perhaps the greatest duty and joy many people in the world will experience. And though it might be at times fun to raise kids, the reason people take on this important responsibility is often tied to mortality. Unfortunately, death is a fact of life, and in some sense our dreams to accomplish our life goals are directly a result of our knowledge that our existence on this earth is temporary. the urgency to leave a legacy, to in a sense exist beyond death, makes simple amusements seem like a waste of time, or even a distraction from what will truly give you calm and happiness, such as raising children or leaving a lasting legacy. Indeed, happiness is not the same thing as fun, and can be more difficult to achieve, but is also often more rewarding. Fast forward to the 1800s, and the Industrial Revolution would significantly change the structure of work and leisure, and add many more sources of fun into people's lives. With mass production and the rise of consumer culture, entertainment became commodified in a way it never was before. Fun was no longer an occasional pursuit or reserved for just the wealthy. It became part of the industrialized economy, catering to the masses with accessible packaged entertainment. Popular were amusement parks, organized sporting events, circuses, and vaudeville. With all of these new forms of entertainment suddenly at people's fingertips, but also a rigorous factory work environment for the majority of city dwellers, the tension between hard work, leisure, and deeper life meaning would become more and more difficult to balance as the years went on. Indeed, the accessibility to entertainment in the 19th century would pale in comparison to the options available in the 20th, with new forms of amusement emerging including cinema, radio, and later television and video games. Instant fun and mindless distraction was now available in your home or just down the block. Economic times would improve as well, with the rise of the leisure class, meaning more people could dedicate time to these entertainment activities. Indeed, money might not be the ticket to a happy life, but few would deny it isn't one of the easiest ways to guarantee a fun time. Meanwhile, as the 20th century went on, work perhaps also became more fun or rewarding on average than it was before, providing more opportunities for accomplishment and intellectual use of the mind. During this time, the term workaholic started to catch on, with more and more people becoming addicted to the workplace as well. Psychologists would give terms to this growing dichotomy of enhanced entertainment and work opportunities. A person's hedonic well-being focuses on pleasure and the avoidance of pain. It's often associated with the pursuit of immediate gratification, fun, and enjoyment. People seeking hedonic well-being prioritize happiness derived from sensory pleasures, entertainment, relaxation, and leisure activities. Meanwhile, the eudaimonic well-being, on the other hand, centers around living a life of purpose, growth, and self-realization, with the belief that the pursuit of meaning and long-term fulfillment is what leads to happiness. Most psychologists would argue that attention to both of these polar states of well-being is the healthiest way to live your life, and if keeping this balance was tough in the 20th century, it would kick into a whole new gear in the 21st with the invention of the internet and social media. Instant entertainment is now not just in your living room, but in your pocket. As a result, there is a growing worry that attention spans have gone down in recent years, as people are expecting more instant gratification and struggle to pay attention to slower, more enriching activities. In the workplace, smartphones have also brought the office to your pocket now, and for workaholics, the temptation to work at all times has only increased as well. It has been studied that today, though it might be fun and exhilarating, social media has not necessarily made us happier, and has possibly even been a negative for well-being, a sign that patience and lack of indulgence are perhaps more important virtues today to uphold than ever before to achieve happiness. With that being said, a more blunt person could argue everything I've brought up to this point about the importance of life's meaning, purpose, and balance is all a bunch of mumbo-jumbo. Perhaps there is no purpose in life, and trying to find meaning is as much of a distraction as is anything else from our eventual demise. And therefore, fun is really still what we should be seeking, and we should be thankful it is as accessible as it is today compared to our bored ancestors. As we have seen, access to fun and entertainment has changed dramatically over the last 2 centuries, and looks to continue perhaps at a similar pace into the century ahead, with VR, AI, and all sorts of other innovations ripe to give us fun that would make our greatest entertainment today pale in comparison. Perhaps the reason people might be less happy in the social media age is not because fun has become maxed out and addictive, but instead that the quality of fun we have access to now is not as enriching as it will be in the years ahead. Another issue that could be solved in an optimistic view of the future is that part of the reason we can't enjoy having fun all the time and might even feel guilty enjoying meaningless forms of entertainment is because the anxieties of making money, finding shelter and food, and raising a family are just too time-consuming and important to ignore. But what if in the future, technology advances so much that we are all good? Nobody needs to work anymore. Robots build our houses, make our food, even help raise and teach our children. Would we then enjoy fun and seemingly meaningless activities more than we do today? Would having fun become more central to our life's meaning? Or perhaps would we just become bored and wither away without a sense of purpose, with everything taken care of? though we can't possibly know the answer to this until the time comes. Studies have shown that too much free time for the people lucky enough to experience that today might lead for sure to a more comfortable lifestyle, but does not necessarily actually make you happier. It has been studied that having less than 2 hours of free time a day causes too much stress to be happy, but over 5 hours of free time starts to make people feel unproductive and bored. So with all we've discussed in mind, let's now dive back to the original question. Is the goal of life really just to have fun? The answer obviously depends on the individual. Some seek balance, some seek as much fun as possible, and some don't see much point in fun at all, driven primarily by purpose and meaning instead. But with this in mind, one thing does seem to be clear. As we go into the future and face a new landscape of fun and purpose in life, identifying if the fun we are having is truly making us happy will be the most important thing to consider. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing and check out another video.